I'm just taking a quick look at the card here, the Facebook fights. It's some fighters I've never heard of, to be honest. Brazilian shows usually have Brazilian fighters who they're making the UFC debut where they were on the Tough Brazil show. So a lot of these names I'm not familiar with. The only fight on the Fox show that I could really talk about is Wilson Reese fighting Hugo Viana. And I think Wilson Reese wins that fight, probably by second round, but it could go to a decision. As far as the main card is concerned, Joseph Benavidez fights Husier Formiga. You got Rafael Natal fighting Tor Trong. Yushin Okami fights Ronaldo Souza. Main event, Glover Teixeira fights Ryan Darth Bader. These are some great fights here, but with the Brazilian shows, the safe bet is to go with the Brazilian fighter, unless they're both Brazilian. Then it's, if they're unknown, both fighters, it's a flip of a coin, really. The one thing I love about these Brazilian shows is the crowd reaction, because it is simply amazing. It's sort of like having a UFC show in Canada, like in a new market, like in Winnipeg. We just saw that. Whenever they're in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, that first show is amazing. That's sort of comparable to a Brazilian show because they love their MMA just like us Canadians do. And I think when the UFC travels to Edmonton or Ottawa coming up in 2014, 2015, I think that first crowd, you're going to get a sellout crowd, and it's going to have the same type of atmosphere just like this. As far as the main card goes, Joseph Benavidez, I think he wins his fight against Husier Formiga. I'm actually going to go with Tor beating Rafael Natal in a slight upset. Yushin Okami against Ronaldo Souza. Boy, that's going to be a good one. It's one of those things where heart versus head once again. I'm always going to go with my heart. I'm going to say Okami wins to upset the crowd in Brazil, but I got to go with Glover beating Ryan Bader in the main event. Glover is really positioning himself with the victory here to, climb that ladder, get a light heavyweight title shot or a number one contender shot, and he could be the next serious threat to John Jones if he can't get past Gustafsson. If Jones and Gustafsson, if John Jones gets beat there, maybe you have Jones fight Glover and number one contenders fight. Who knows? But that's a discussion for another day, because that fight is coming up in just a couple of weeks right here in Toronto and in the great province of Ontario, which I am currently living in. So we've talked about tonight.